Alrighty, g'day everybody, it's the Doga! It's time for another music collection update. First music collection video for 2022. So, what we have here is basically some of the stuff I didn't show off that I obtained at the end of last year, and a couple of things I've been able to get this year. Not very much, unfortunately. Some of it I did show off in my Christmas Day video at the end of last year, but otherwise this is pretty much everything else. Starting off with AC/DC, I've got at least 4 items here. Starting off with the original 1975 single, High Voltage, and someone's written their initials on the bloody label. And of course the B-side from the High Voltage album is Soul Stripper. Of course, the wrong writer credit should only be Young and Young, thank you very much. And also added to my collection recently, from 1982, Let's Get It Up, from the For Those About to Rock album. And the B-side, of course, is Snowballed. Pretty much the same as the US version of the single. I think it was only Europe that got the live version of Back in Black. And also, from 1988, the second single off the Blurby video album, That's the Way I Wanna Rock and Roll. And its B-side, of course, is Kissin' Dynamite. Be sure to check out my other videos to see the 12-inch version of that particular single, as well as Heat Seeker, which I also own in both 7 and 12-inch formats. And another recent purchase was the 1989 CD reissue of Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap. This is one particular CD that I'd been looking for a while. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get it in time for the 45th anniversary last year, but I do have it now. Surprisingly cheap at only $150, so that actually worked out well in the end. Let's have a look at the disc. Unfortunately, the mastering on this particular CD isn't that good at all. It's almost cassette sound quality. The sound quality is just very dodgy and muffled at times, especially Ride On sounding that badly muffled. I had to turn it up quite a bit to hear it clearly. I don't know why I don't know how this particular mastering got past quality control back in 1989, but I guess it did. Okay, that's all I have in the AC/DC lot. I do have some Beatles additions to my collection. I have 2 singles here. In 1965, we have arguably their most well-known song, Yesterday. Of course, backed with the cover of Act Naturally, both from the Help album. I'm sure just about everyone knows that particular song. Why not? And also another one added to my Beatles singles collection. Again, be sure to check out the video. It's on my channel. Another addition is, of course, Get Back and Don't Let Me Down. Again, ignore the boring writing, like someone's name and phone number. Like, who knows who these people are? Either way, that's the only recent additions to the singles, apart from the Hey Jude, which I showed off on Christmas Day. But I do have a couple of cassettes. This, I believe, is the original, probably early or mid-1970s cassette of the 1966 compilation album, The Beatles' Greatest Hits, Volume 1. This particular cassette is quite a long time ago. I mean, track listing is slightly different to the LP. Hold Me Tight has moved to side 1, and Please Please Me has moved to side 2. Let's get out the J card. I'd say this probably dates to 1975 or so. at the latest. All tracks are mostly in stereo except for She Loves You, which is a very, very muddy fake stereo. Sounds absolutely dreadful, probably the worst sounding version I've ever heard, and that's just on cassette. And of course we've got the Cassette Care, which basically started appearing in 1975 on the EMI cassettes. Let's take a look at the cassette itself. It's side one here. Interestingly, I know you can't quite read it here, but it printed down here on the shell it says made in USA, so this shell was made over there. Yet you can clearly see on the label that the label was clearly printed here in Australia. And here's side two. Again, apologies for the poor quality. Stupid iPad, I tell you. Sometimes I just want to take this iPad and... Then again, it is the latest generation, so should have expected better, but it doesn't matter. Okay, what we have now is, from what I can tell, 1986 reissue of Magical Mystery Tour on cassette. And this is mostly due to the cassette itself dating to the late 80s, mid to late 80s, this particular label design. At the latest, 1986. This particular label design is also familiar to those that have bought late 80s reissues of AC/DC cassettes as well. Again, you'll see many of those on my YouTube channel. And let's have a look at the J card itself. Fairly substandard for the time. Again, design was probably made back in 74, 75. But the cassette itself definitely dates to the late 80s. I've not located a paper label version as of yet. Bound to be rare. And the last item is essentially an LP version of the Beatles' Greatest Hits Volume 1. This, from what I can tell, is probably dates to 1966 or 67, or probably 68 even. But it's in mono. It does have the same flip-back design used around that time, but it interestingly does mention mono and stereo, as you can see here. But the LP itself is the mono version. Let's have a good look at the label itself. As you can see, Please Please Me is on side 1, Hold Me Tight is on side 2. Don't really see the reason why they would change the sides over, because side 2 actually runs shorter on the cassette. Well, it is a fairly good album. Definitely a good compilation made by EMI Australia back in 1966. Quickly put out probably sometime just before the local release of a collection of Beatles oldies. Anyway, that is the video today. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to leave a like and comment down below and let me know what you think of what I have. And if you're brand new, be sure to press the subscribe button to join the Be a Good Dog YouTube channel as we continue to make more videos. Until next time, this is the Doga saying have a wonderful day, and we shall see you.